Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the guitar solo from the classic Journey song Who's Crying Now. Now this might be Neal Schon's simplest guitar solo, but it's also one of his most memorable. And it just goes to show you don't have to play a lot of notes to get your point across. Now if you're a fan of Neal's playing, I also have lessons here on my channel on how to play the solos from Don't Stop Believin', Stone in Love, Any Way You Want It, Lights, and there will certainly be more to come. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to catch all my content as soon as it's available. And if you found this video helpful, I would appreciate a thumbs up because it does help my videos get a little bit more exposure. And then if you've got any questions or comments, leave those down below and I'll attempt to answer the questions as time allows. Now, if you're interested in getting a copy of the custom guitar solo tabs that I've created here for this video, or the awesome backing track from JamKazam, I'll put information down in the video description on how to do that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play the solo again for you, this time with the tabs on the screen. That way the more advanced players can get through this more quickly. Then after that, for everybody else, I'm going to break it down note by note. Let's go. Section 1 goes like this. Let's break it up into two boxes, and in the first, we're going to bend up at the 15th fret of the B string quickly, hold it for a little bit, and then we're going to play 15 of E, 15 of B vibrato, 15 of E, 13 of B vibrato, 15 E, 12 B vibrato. Here's what we have in that first box. Now throughout this solo, a lot of these phrases are going to be repeated. That's going to save us some time as we work through it. So keep that in mind. This phrase we just played, you're going to play that quite a few times. Now in the second box, we play so it's basically the same thing you played in the first box, but right before that first note, you're going to play 15 of high E. All right, now I'm going to tie both boxes together, and I'll play section 1 one more time for you. Okay, let's move on to section 2. Here's section 2. In the first box, we'll play. Now we already learned that. That's the same thing we played in the second box of section 1. Here's the second box. Now I'm actually not sure I bent that as many times as I was supposed to. I'll explain why in a second. 14 of G, and then 12 of B. You're going to bend up and down. It's 10 times, and then at the end you give it a quick little fast vibrato. okay? But I wouldn't count it. I would just bend up and down half a step in what feels right to you, okay? And then the little quick vibrato at the end. Okay, again, I say don't count it because if you spend your time or practice counting it, you're probably going to sound robotic. Just go with what feels right. All right, now I'm going to tie both boxes together and play section 2 one more time for you. All right, let's move on to section 3. Here's section 3. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first, so we start by bending up at the 15th fret of the B string again, hold it for a tiny bit, then 15E, 15B vibrato, 15E, 13B vibrato, and then here, you're going to deviate a little bit from what you've learned previously. You're going to play 15 of E, and then 15 of E, bend up a full step, wide vibrato. Here's that first box again. And the second box is the same thing. All right, I'll tie both boxes together and play section 3 one more time for you. Let's move on to section 4. Section 4 goes like this. So in the first box, we've already learned that phrase, so we can skip that. And then in the second box, we play. So it's 14 of G. And then you're going to do that bend up and down at the 12th fret again, half a step. This time it's 8 times, followed by a quick vibrato slide down. Now I'm going to tie both boxes together and play section 4 one more time for you. Let's move on to section 5. Section 5 is going to go like this. So we're going to break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first, so we're going to slide up to 14 of D, and then 12, 14, 14 on G, vibrato slide down. Now a lot of times you'll see this tabbed, wherein at the end of that box, you add in 12 of G and slide down like this. And that's not correct. I think the reason people do it that way, in part, is because when you watch Neil Schon play this live, he tends to do that. And you might be thinking, well, if Neil's doing it, isn't it right? Well, we all know that sometimes when people perform things in the studio, they're improvising and then they come back to do it later and they have to figure it out and maybe they add in an extra note or a wrong note. Try it both ways, playing along to the original, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Again, that first box. Now in the second box, we'll play. Let's break that up into 3 smaller green boxes. In the first, so it's 14 on G, pull off to 12, and then 14 on D, quickly slide to 12. Very fast slide. If you want, you can just play 12 of D like this. But listen closely, especially if you slow down the track, you'll hear it. Either way, you should be fine. Now in the second green box, we play. So on the D string, it's 10, 12. And then it's 9G, 10D, 12A, 9, 10, 12. Add vibrato. Then in the third green box we play. So what you're doing is you're playing 10 of D, hold it for a tiny bit, then hammer to 12. Hold that for a tiny bit, slide down. All right, let me tie the 3 green boxes together and play it again. Now I'm going to tie all the boxes together and play section 5 one more time for you. Let's move on to section 6. Section 6 might be the trickiest part. It's going to go like this. Slowly. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first, slowly. Now I'm going to break that first box up further into 2 little green boxes. The first, we're going to slide up to 14 of D and then 12, 14 G. And here's the little tricky part. You're going to play 12 of B, quick little vibrato, hammer to 13, pull off to 12. Think of it as a bend if you want, like a kind of like a half step bend. Then 14 G, 12 B. Let me play that first green box a few times for you slowly. Regular speed. Then in the second green box we play. So on the B string it's 13, 15. 15 up a full step, then 15 vibrato. So far in that second green box. 13 B, 14 G. Here's that second green box again. Now let me tie those first 2 little green boxes together and play it for you a couple times slowly. Regular speed. Then in the last box we play. So it's 15 on B, quickly to 17. Then 17 E, 17 B. I say you palm mute the 17 of B. You don't have to get that granular if you don't want, but the regulars know I do. So far in that last box. Then 17 of E up twice. Add vibrato. Here's that last box again. Now I'm going to tie both boxes together and play section 6 one more time for you, slowly and then at normal speed. Okay, let's move on to section 7. Section 7 goes like this. Let's break it up into 3 boxes, and in the first. So what you're doing there is you're doing a pre-bend at the 17th fret of high E. You bend it up slightly before you hit it. Okay, bend it up like a half a step, hit it, and then keep going up 1.5 steps. Hold it and come down. Now hopefully you know what I mean by steps. So a half step's going to be from here to here, and 1.5 is going to be from here to here. If that's too hard to do the pre-bend, just bend it from 17 regular. Most people won't know the difference. Okay, again in that first box. Then in the second box. Let's break that second box up into 3 green boxes. In the first one, so on the high E string it's 15, 17, 17, add vibrato. Then in the second green box, so it's 15, 17 on E, then 17 again, bend up, hold it for a tiny bit, come down, and then 15. Let me play that second green box a few times. Then in the third little green box, we play 17 on high E, bend up and down a full step, and then 15, 17 B vibrato. Let's do this. Let's tie everything together on this page, okay? The red box and the 3 green boxes. Again. Now in the third box we play let's break that up further once again into 3 little green boxes. The first one, right? 15, 17, 17 on E, add vibrato. And then we're going to do 15, 17, 17, bend that up 1.5 steps back down. And then in the third little green box there, so on the E string it's 15, 17, followed by 17, pull off to 15. 17 B twice, add vibrato. Let's tie these 3 green boxes together. All right, now we're going to tie all this together in section 7, and I'll play it one more time for you, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 8. Section 8 is going to go like this. Here it is slowly. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first, so on the B string it's 15, 17, then 17 again, bend up and down 1/2 step, then 15, and then 17 of G up a full step, wide vibrato. Now in the second box we play so we're going to break that up further into 2 little green boxes, and in the first, so on the B string it's 15, and then 17 pull off to 15, 16 of G up, 1/2 step up and down, 14, 16 G, 17 D. Let me play the first green box a few times for you. Now in the second green box, the last box here, we play so on the G string it's 16 up 1/2 step, then 16, 14, 17 D, 14, 16 G, 14 D vibrato slide down. You'll notice the way I tabbed it with that last note, the 14D with the vibrato, how I kind of widened the vibrato toward the end. That's optional. That's what I hear, and that's when it starts to feedback a little bit. Either way, you should be fine if you want to just do a regular vibrato throughout it. Here's that last box one more time. Let me tie those two green boxes and play them together slowly. Okay, now I'm going to tie everything together and play section 8 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. Let's move on to section 9. Section 9 is going to go like this. In the first box, you've already learned that, so we can skip that. Then in the second box, so it starts very similar to what you've done before. It's 15 of high E, then 15 of B, bend up a full step. Then 15E, 15B vibrato, 15E, 13B vibrato. And then at the end, you're going to play 15 of high E, bend up and down vibrato. Here's that second box again. All right, let me tie all that together and play section 9 one more time for you. Let's keep moving on to section 10. Here is section 10. Now in that first box, think of it this way. You've played this before, but instead of playing 15 of high E as the first note, you play 13 of E as the first note. Okay, pretty simple. And then in the second box, now you've already learned that too, so let's keep moving on to section 11. Now at this point, the fade out's getting kind of deep, and people usually don't go this far, but the regulars sure know that I'm going to take it all the way until I couldn't hear anything else while I cranked up the speakers. And a lot of times when you watch Neil live, actually every time, by this point he starts to improvise, and he's just going off and having fun. So I suggest you have fun with it too at this point. But if you want to learn it, here it is. Here's section 11. We'll break it up into two boxes, and in the first, we've already learned that, right? And then in the second box, we have the original phrase. You've already learned it. Okay, now we're going to move on to the final section, section 12. Okay, section 12 is the final section, and if you go back and listen to the original and crank it as it starts to fade out so you can hear everything, this is the last thing you're going to hear. And it feels like it was cut off. You'll see what I mean. Right? It kind of leaves you hanging, like you want to add in another note, right? Or another two notes or whatever. Anyway, the first box. 15 of E, 15 of B, bend up a full step. 15 of E, 15 B, vibrato. Again, that first box. Then in that second box. So on the E string, it's 15 of E twice, and then bend it up. 15, 13 on E. So far on the second box. Then you're going to play 15 of B, bend it up a full step. Then at the top, you're going to hit it again and come down quickly, pull off to 13. and then 14 of G, and then 15 of B, up a full step, and then 15 of B. Let me play that second box a few times for you slowly. Normal speed. Again, I feel like adding a note there because it just cuts off. Or something like that. It's just missing something. All right, I'm going to tie both boxes together and play section 12 one more time. All right, let's wrap it up. That was my lesson on how to play the guitar solo from the classic Journey song, Who's Crying Now? If you found it helpful or informative, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button if you want to catch all my content as soon as it's available. And again, if you've got any questions, leave those down below, and I will attempt to answer them as time allows. Until next time, rock on.